like every day we used to have Women with Wings program, and we used to have one expert who was talking about a particular topic, and one expert who was did well, and they have did so much of expertise in their field. We used to take them and interview them. But today it's all completely going to be a different thing. So we had an news from parent groups and students groups and teachers group asking that this being a new normal life for everybody, everything is converting into online course, and everything has come into online. So this is being a little more stressful time for all the students, parents and teachers and all the people who's into education field. So that's the reason what we did today is we got all the panel members of an education panel from B Network to give a suggestion about what can be done on this new normal. This is a great session, which is going to be a very insightful session. We'll come back to the session after we introduce V Network to you people. Once we'll just see what is V Network, and then we'll come back to the discussion.
V Network Community is an online Facebook group and WhatsApp group, which we have created to provide networking, skill development and physical, mental, emotional growth. We have 7 panels to help you. Panel 1, Education and Coaching Panel. Panel 2, Health and Wellness Panel. Panel 3, Spirituality, Mindfulness and Healing Panel. Panel 4, Small Medium Enterprises Guidance Panel. Panel 5, Tradition, Art, Dance and Music Panel. Panel 6, Food Nutrition Panel. Panel 7, Fitness and Sport Panel. Benefits of membership. We help you in physical, mental, emotional, spiritual well and balancing yourself. We help you in expanding your network, and you get a place to showcase your talent and knowledge where all kind of people are in one place. We help you enhance your skills required to be strong. Join us to transform your lifestyle and take a journey of empowerment and be abundant. We invite you to join our membership to enhance, enrich and empower your journey with us. Email team1network@gmail.
Okay, that was all about V Network, and we are back with all the experts here. So as we are going to talk a topic about life of uncertainty, certainly we need the blessings of the Almighty. So let's just go with start with a small sloga with our expert Gayatri Vamsi, who is training kids on slogas, and she's got a proper training from gurus, and she's doing it for the kids. So let's start with Gayatri Vamsi with this slogas. Over to Gayatri Vamsi. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. Om Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. Yasyat Virata Vaktradya Arisadya Parasyatam Vignam Nignanti Satatam Vishwaksenam Tamasraye. So here we prayed Lord Vishwaksena to have our program continue without any obstacles. Over to you, Purnima. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for that, Vamsi. It was really nice to hear from you. Every time we hear a mantra from you, we hear a slogan from you, we get enriched and we get happy to pray with you. Thanks a lot for that. And we also have a parent who is ready to ask so many questions to you, all the experts. We have Gayatri Vamsi, who is expert in making the kids entertained in so many ways. And we have Dr. Gayatri, who is into learning disabilities, and she makes the kids amazingly learn properly. I don't know what are the tricks she is using, but she is amazing at doing those things. And we have Mr. Sushila, who is a correspondent of GPS school in Nilgiri district. And we have Mrs. Deepa Subramani, who is a career counselor. She is very wonderful at whatever she is doing. She really knows what she is doing, and she is very, very good at that. And we have Dr. Sureka, who is a physiotherapist, and she is a general secretary for the V Network, and everybody has their own respective position in V Network. So let's move into the session. We have a parent, Mrs. Vijitra Senthil Kumar, and we have students, Anjana George, who is secretary of, meaning coordinator of Young Minds Forum, and we have members from Young Minds Forum who is ready to shoot a lot of questions at our experts, and our experts are ready to give you a lot of suggestions. So let's start it. So who is ready to give your first question to our experts?
Myself, Purni.
Yes, please carry on, ma'am. Please carry on, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Good evening to all the experts of our panel. Okay, my question is, all these days we are sending our kids to schools from the age of 3, right? From the age of 3 and all, from starting from pre-KG. But nowadays, because of this pandemic situation, how to overcome, how to create an environment to study the kids at home, and as well to make them happy too.
Hi Vichitra, I hope I'll just reframe your question to make sure, I understand your question correctly. So you are asking us, how can we create an environment to ensure learning and make children happy?
Yeah.
Did I understood correctly, Vichitra?
Yes.
So that's a very, very valid question for today's thing. So as we know, the world has become upside down, and especially for children, right? And for parents. So if we see, home environment plays a very, very important role in making our children learn or focus. So that was the importance of home environment even before COVID. And now, because children are at home 24/7,
yes.
So it plays a huge role in the way our children are growing up to be. Right. So if you see, what is home environment, it is how parents are creating a culture inside our house where it is reflecting children and creating an environment or the mood in the house for children to learn better and feel happy. Say earlier, if you see, children used to feel happy from many different sources. So even if they fought with the mom at home, they go to school, they interact with other children, and they kind of forget. When they come back, they don't even remember what happened in the morning. But now it is not the situation. They are in the same under one roof. So whatever happened goes on in their mind. So when those things happen, we as parents and adults in the house have to ensure that we need to keep them happy for the academic growth, or for personality development, or for your attitude development. So how can one do that? So this is new for everybody, like including me as an educator, including me as a parent, including me as a human being. This is new. None of us expected that this is going to happen. So how can we do is, what I would suggest is, have a set routine so that children expect or know what to expect. So we can divide our day into 4 different engagements: informative engagement, entertainment engagement, physical engagement, and academic engagement. So academic engagement is taken care by school because they are attending online classes, and academics is taken by school, and they give homework. So that is different. So here I am being in the field of education, and where I work with families to create that emotional bonding through entertainment, I want to talk more about entertainment engagement. So you need to carve out some portion of your day, which is 24 hours in a day, portion that this will be dedicated to our child's entertainment. So when I say entertainment, they can do anything what they are interested in. So when we let the child do what they are interested, so the other things, when we ask them, okay, can you please study, they'll be okay. They are not going to be resilient to study. So if you see, children see magic in everything that we do. That cannot be visible to us, but for children, even if you take a cardboard, cut it into 2 pieces, make it into a boat or some random thing, for them it is magic, right? So you need to involve children in a lot of entertaining ideas throughout the day. And again, now you might ask, ma'am, we don't have so much of time. How
Yeah.
can we do that? Because everybody is busy, especially working mothers, husbands are home. So there are too many things happening. So how can we do that? So you can actually create entertainment in the regular activities that we do. Give us mop and give a dustpan and sweeping. That becomes magic for children because they love doing cleaning work. So you are actually taking their help in a entertaining way and involve children in cooking. And whenever I say this to parents, they're like, ma'am, how can we involve children in cooking? But if you see, cooking is beyond cooking, beyond ingredients. So you see it as cooking, I see it as reading, I see it as math, I see it as comprehension skills, I see it as critical thinking, I see it as problem solving, I see it as life skill that teaches many other life skills. So you can involve children in cooking. Of all these benefits, one benefit is your work will be less. They're helping you. So that way you can create that entertainment zone for children, involve them with everything, and ensure that as a family you're spending a lot of time together. And then when the next day they have to attend their online classes, they will be pumped up with so much of positive energy that they will stay focused in the class. So again, physical engagement, we'll have others talk over it because I'm not an expert in that. We have definitely have Sureka ma'am, who's an expert in yoga and physiotherapy. So I'll let her talk about it. So my sincere suggestion is create an environment in the house where there is a lot of laughter, humor, love, and acceptance and praise through entertainment. So if your children are home, so you're passing by them, just ask them, hey, can I get you something to drink? Can I get you something to eat? So they know that you are there for them. So that way you're creating that love and affection in the child's mind. It is hardly taking 2 seconds to ask one thing.
Yeah.
So create like about 20 to 30 minutes of entertainment every day. That will definitely take care of your personality development of the child. And we are actually indirectly working on mental well-being of the child as well. Thank you, Vichitra. Very interesting question, which I really enjoyed answering.
Thanks a lot, Gayatri. Your answer is not only for academic improvement and not only to make them happy, it's also to bring the confidence that we parents are there to bring that confidence. Yeah, really, thanks a lot.
Thank you, Vichitra.
So good evening to all the experts here. I'm Anjana and I'm doing my third year in engineering and I'm a coordinator in Young Minds Forum. So my question is like students like when they are going to schools regularly also and also in online classes. The one thing which haven't yet changed is teacher writing down something on the board and asking the students to copy it. Let it be on writing on the board or just displaying something and making the children to note those things. So in that time, students may find difficulty. Like some students find it easy to copy down, and some may not. They'll find difficult, and they can't complete it within a given time. So a question with many students is, how come my friends can complete it soon, and why can't I? So what can be done that for that, ma'am?
Hi, Anjana. I'm glad that you asked this question. First, good evening all, for all the panel members, students, parents, and whoever is watching this session. So yes, Anjana, like copying is a difficult task, and I can understand that it was the same when students were in school and again now. But one thing different is that in school, the teachers can actually see the kids if they have completed or not. But on the online sessions, the teacher asks whether you have completed, and most of the time, the kid is in stress. For some kids who are struggling learners, they have little difficulty to copy the notes. But because of the stress and because all other friends are saying yes, they also raise their hand and they say, yes, we completed. So what can we do? Why actually it is difficult for the struggling learners to copy from the board? It is a difficult task because they have to see which line it is. If it is a first line, they have to copy the first line. For some kids, they can remember 3 to 4 words together. For some kids, it will be difficult for them to remember 4 to 5 words together. they'll be copying each word down. I, am, like that, they'll be copying single word, and that becomes a difficulty for them. So they have to actually track it down. They have to see visually up, and again they have to bend down. They have to write it in their note. Again, they have to find where the word is. So this creates a difficulty. For struggling learners, if the child is a small child, a parent can ask from the teacher for help for the written materials. So the teacher can actually provide whatever they're displaying it as a written form in a PDF form or through images, pics to the parent's mobile or parent's mail. If a student is a little bigger student, they can actually talk with the teacher. They can express what they are feeling through it. No, ma'am, no, sir, we are having difficulty. Please give those notes for me so that I can again prepare those notes and I can see it well. If possible, the teachers can actually beforehand also give whatever they're going to teach in their subsequent lessons. So this is one thing. And if a teacher, they are like thinking we have to implement these ideas while the student is writing, actually the teacher can write down in a different marker. If it is on a whiteboard, they're writing with a red marker on the first line. Next one, they can use a different marker. They can use a green marker. Next one, again, they can differentiate so that the kid can easily write it down. The kid can also use like whatever words they are able to grasp it fast, they can write it together. And then after the class is over, they can get the help and do it well. So it's sometimes the kid gets stressed out. It's nothing to stress out. It is a little difficult task for everyone. So ask for help from the teachers. So the parent can step in sometimes the kid can ask their help so that it becomes an easy. And it's not about the time to be stressed out. It's okay if they are not able to write at that time. Yes, I think I answered your question, Anjana.
Yes,
Thank you.
Obviously, ma'am. Particularly the
Thanks.
different colors of sketches was really a great idea, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, good evening to all the panel members present here. First of all, I'm very happy to see you all just in one frame. My question is about distraction, ma'am. Comparing to school environment, we are facing many kind of distractions in these kind of digital classes. So, how to overcome these distractions and how to get full focus on our studies, ma'am?
Hi, Karthikeshwari. That's one question that you have asked representing the entire student community. Because as a educator, I keep hearing this question from many students and parents also, because it's a combined work, right? So ever since this COVID-19 and the national lockdown has been implemented, we are seeing many things that we never even dreamt of. So we have always heard about work from home. We never even heard or even thought in our wildest dreams that we will hear school from home. Right. So all of us were prepared for work from home, especially IT guys would be aware of working from home. But for students, studying from home or attending school from home is a biggest challenge. And to encounter, distractions will be there everywhere. So what happens with online learning, the distractions has become much more wider and larger because of the ease of technology that is available next to us. Okay. Earlier, when they were in school, if they don't like what the teacher is teaching, they would only see around in the class. So there's nothing much interesting. So after 20 seconds or 30 seconds of seeing around in the class, they are forced to focus on the teacher. Now, a click of a second, they can open YouTube. So that is a huge distraction. And how we can help children, or how children can help themselves is, first thing is, you need to maintain a routine. So you need to wake up on time, how you used to wake up earlier when you were going to school. Just because school is just right next to my bed, I will not wake up whenever I want or just before few minutes of my class starts. So you set a routine for yourself, and your parents help children wake up for some days. Like, if your school starts at 7 o'clock, make sure they wake up, they have their bath, they eat their breakfast, and then attend the classes. So when your breakfast is given, a good healthy breakfast is being taken, your mind will stay focused. You will pay attention in the classroom. So that is one, you need to have a routine for yourself, and put, if you're attending a class on your laptop, put your phone away. Phone is not a device to attend classes. That can easily distract you because it is in your hand. See, laptop is far away from you, like not very far, but at least little away from you. So you are more focused on seeing the screen rather than getting any other distractions. So third, parents or children, you create a dedicated workspace for yourself. Take a table wherever it is possible in your house, put a table, personalize that environment, put your name, whatever you like, put your friends pictures. So you just personalize how you want it, and ensure that there is enough sunlight or fresh ventilation near where you are sitting. That will help you focus on your classrooms, because you have created it interestingly for yourself. So for me, I have put some plants, and I have a few books that I really, whom I admire or who are my role models. So every time, see, I also take classes, I attend my classes. So but sometimes if the teacher is boring or the webinar is boring, I feel like, okay, let me check my Facebook for 2 seconds, but that 2 seconds will become 20 seconds, that 20 seconds will become 2 minutes. So when you see what you like, you are not distracted with Facebook or your Insta. So that will help you. And always update your technology. So if there is any, before you start your classes, you need to update your, any updates are there. Say, I'm not a technical person, so I'm not very sure, but those updates can be very distractive. Okay, there is a pop-up, I will go look into it. You'll never come back from that pop-up to your classroom. So that will go on, and you'll land up somewhere. So after 2-3 minutes, you don't even remember why you went there. So that is a huge distraction. And second, parents here, always have your children sit in a place where they are visible to you. They cannot be seated in a closed room, so that they will know somebody is watching them, and they will have that in back of their mind that they need to focus in the classes. And see, we have never given so much of screen that we are giving them now. So there is always that curiosity the children want to explore. It's not bad, it is good. Curiosity, being curious is very good. So give them a allotted time during the day, that whatever you want to explore, you explore during that time. So you're giving an alternative to them. Okay, you want to watch this, you want to explore this video after the class, not during the class. And see, many children are chatting when the classes are happening, because that is their basic requirement to have social interaction with their friends. So create an environment, create a WhatsApp group, let them chat with their friends. Now, do not see this as screen time, see this as social engagement. They're spending time with their friends. So give them like 15 minutes in a day that they can talk to their friends, so that during the class they don't have that urge to talk to their friends, but they will focus in the class. And see, there is something called dopamine. I don't want to get into very technical terms, but dopamine plays a very, very important role when it comes to focus, right? So give the distractions. You walk by. When your child is sitting, you just walk by. You don't talk, you don't disturb them, anything. You just walk by. For 2 seconds, they're distracted. Oh, okay. Then they're back. So you are creating the distraction that is required biologically for children. And let children spend a lot of time with you, apart from when they're not attending the classes. Have that family engagement time where you're creating lots of love for your child, and then let them focus in the classroom. This will actually help them to stay focused. So if they are watching TV, or if they are watching videos side by side, create a avenue where their wish is fulfilled. So your wish of them attending online class, they will fulfill for you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. We got a very clear idea about to overcome this issue. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Good, Kartika. Hope you stay focused in the classes.
Yes, ma'am. I will.
Purnima, you're on mute. Purnima, you're on mute.
Unmute. She's in mute, right?
Not able to hear her. Purnima, we are not able to hear you. Even after you unmuted, we are not able to hear you. Please check.
Okay, some problem in Purni's
Okay,
network,
ma'am.
I think. Yeah, Purni, are you here? Okay, what's the next question is not only for the students and parents to take huge responsibility due to this pandemic situation, and teachers also have more responsibility and burden during the situation, no? What are the major challenges the teachers are facing in this situation? Are you clear about my question? Okay.
Yes, Vijitra ma'am, more than we answering it, there is our Sushila ma'am who is a correspondent of a school. She will be giving it a more clearer idea because as a teacher, she will be experiencing the same. So when a person who is experiencing something says about the challenges, it will be very good. Ma'am, can we hear from you, Sushila ma'am?
Yeah, hi Vichitra ma'am and all my dear friends. Thank you all for calling me today. Yes, Vichitra ma'am, I would like to share a few things, especially for all our teachers and educators. See, we have to accept that they're really doing a wonderful job in these pandemic days, right? In normal days, usually the teachers have got their comfortable time schedule and they were more convenient to look after their own family, their own kids, and also the children, whomever they handle in their schools, wherever they work, but in these days, you have to accept towards me that they are really under depression. You know why? There are a lot of supports where children used to get from their parents, also from their family members. Likewise, somehow they are secured, right? But in the case of a teacher, you have to notice one thing that as an individual, they have to face all the issues and needs related with their family and to take care of their family members, also their kids. Apart from that, they are also committed to conduct online classes for different children. As an individual, including the financial matters, they are performing a lot of tasks which are really appreciable according to me. So as it is an unexpected situation, what I would like to suggest to all our teachers is, first of all, I will not consider them as a teacher alone. They are the asset to the institutions wherever they belong to, and also to our society. Now, why do I consider them as it means they are the people who are really creating our future citizens with a lot of responsibilities, right, Deepa ma'am?
Exactly, ma'am, exactly. Yes, ma'am, please continue, ma'am.
And to come out of the stress and make the class more interesting.
So what I would like to, so what I feel is we have to create a pleasant mind for the teachers to overcome all their stress and depression. So depression can take their life and affect their work, their family, and things that they are loved to do. The symptoms of depression and anxiety will vary from person to person. So quite often what happens to people suffering from depression is that they have anxiety as well, which seems really harsh. So what my suggestion is, don't try managing anxiety and depression by your own. It will only make things harder for you. Isolating yourself only makes handling depressions even harder. So what we can do is we can give them some kind of a training and counseling sessions. Deepa ma'am, through conducting certain programs, even through online, either for individual or by bringing them under a group in order to boost up their mind. They also can join us with as an individual or however they prefer. And another thing, what do I feel is lack of planning among the teachers, even towards teaching as well as of handling the situations in these days within their family. So my friendly request to all our teachers, please kindly take care of your health and mind. Also try to concentrate on all your works with full of positive energies. If you feel that you get lack with it at any point, let kindly do approach to the people whomever you feel comfortable so that you can come out of all your depressions and stresses. So we are here to help you at any time. If you ask me one thing that how do I consider a teacher, a parent and the children, what will I say is with one of my hand, I will hold our teachers, and with my another hand, I will hold our beloved parents. I can understand that, Diva ma'am, you're asking me what will I do for our children. Definitely, I will do hug them with both of my hands and with my unconditional love and care. So I never like to drop any of them down. Everybody should accept that in the case of parents and teachers, really they are under depression due to financial matters and all other issues. So without knowing what to do, they are running behind the problems. So that again is creating a depression and anxiety for them. So I'm here from my enlightening minds along with the V Network to guide and support our beloved teachers and parents and their all aspects as a team with all experts.
Thanks a lot,
so I hope
ma'am.
we'll do it in the coming days.
Thanks a lot, ma'am. As a teacher, you guided all the teachers to overcome the stress and how to come out of the situation. Thanks a lot, ma'am. And moving to my parents' side, my question is how to make the kids to write their homework. Already, it's very difficult for me to make them sit for an online class. And after that, and how we have to sit them and to do the homeworks.
Yeah, hi Vichitra ma'am. This is, I think, a very important question, and I get calls every day for this same question. How can we again make them sit? Because sometimes we only have to make them sit in their online classes, and next again when we have to make them sit for homework.
Yeah.
So as Gayatri Vamsi ma'am already mentioned, give time for entertainment, make them feel loud, and then you have to make them sit for the homework also. And while always planning time for homework, don't plan in a continuous stretch for 1 hour you're doing your homework and then you go out and play. Please, that is very difficult. We have to see the kid's age and then only plan the time for the kid. I will just tell one example. Like this is kind of a rule. If your kid is 5 years old, their average attention span is 15 minutes, 5 into 3. Okay. That is their attention span. If we understand this, we can plan activities for average of 15 minutes. 15 to 20 minutes, the kid can sit. So if you're giving them a homework, if they are assigned some worksheet or something, plan only till the 20 minutes task. They can complete this English assignment, then they can have some game or something. And don't introduce any gadget in between, but you can give some other activity or some task which they would be interested in. So this is how we have to plan tasks for the kids. If kids are big kids, like I'm saying like 7th standard, 8th standard kids, parents don't sit with them. They will be doing their homework. And what we do is that, okay, you have to go inside the room, complete the task, then only you have to come out. I will ask you questions at the end. Sometimes we ask them questions at the end. But when you're planning for bigger kids also, give them tasks for some 20 to 30 minutes chunk. For 30 minutes, they have to read. After that, they have to come out of the room or from the desk from where they're sitting, and they have to explain what they have read till this point. Just a small portion. If they are reading about photosynthesis, that photosynthesis, the main concept has to be explained so that we know whether our kid understood it, they're comprehending it, and we can actually intervene in that time itself. Sometimes we say after 1 hour and then it becomes late and we say, no, go to the next homework because you have to complete this worksheet. So give them times And always try to split the homework. Please don't do it in a stretch. It is difficult for kids also. Try always to segment it to smaller chunks where the kid is also free and they are able to do it. And as a parent also, we can also check it out, like what they are doing and how they are doing. So this is how we always should plan for doing homeworks with kids. I think I was able to answer your question, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank
Yes,
you.
yeah. Simply you are saying that make a schedule and keep them entertained, right, ma'am?
Definitely make a
It will be easy
schedule.
for us to do, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am. You have to
you.
split it.
Yeah,
Splitting is
split
the
it.
key thing. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
So ma'am, my question is like, even though when kids were going to school, they used to have extra time, but nowadays they have plenty of time. So apart from academics, how can those time be utilized in a constructive manner, ma'am? Apart from academics, they have to have some constructive manner. They have to utilize the time in a constructive manner. So what can be done for that, ma'am?
And while always planning time for homework, don't plan in a continuous stretch for 1 hour. You're doing your homework and then you go out and play. Please, that is very difficult. We have to see the kid's age and then only plan the time for the kid. I will just tell one example. Like this is kind of a rule. If your kid is 5 years old, their average attention span is 15 minutes, 5 into 3. That is their attention span.
Deepa, the question.
So, yes. There was some audio played again. Yeah. Anjana, I would like to answer your question. So, good evening, all. Myself, Deepa Subramani. I'm a career analyst and a motivational speaker. So, how do you use the time in a constructive manner? Is what time management skills is what most of the kids, most of the parents, most of us lack. So it's like most of the time sitting in front of the screen without any concentration, you never know what you're doing. So you sit with the same set of books again with your parents and do the homework. Parents have to explain the same thing again. So it's like the 1 hour's constructive work will take more than 3 to 4 hours to complete. That is why you don't find any proper time for entertainment or other activities apart from academics. So as Gayatri Vamsi ma'am said, and Gayatri ma'am said, split your days into 4 parts, like academic engagement, physical engagement. So entertainment is also a part. So entertainment is not always sitting with your TV or sitting with your gadgets, playing games, not so. So involve in any constructive games like playing chess or any indoor games or out. Since this is a pandemic time, you're not allowed to go outside. You're not allowed to go outside for athletic classes or whatever it may be. So you can utilize your time, build a schedule. So it's like a school timetable. You have all the activities in a single day. They involve you in all the study part, and apart from that, there will be music classes. There will be play time. Everything will be there within the same 7 hours of time. So you have to plan your day. You can even have a daily planner or like a diary, and then you can each day what are all the activities you can do, like building up a hobby or else learning a new skill for yourself. It's like many people are lacking the skills like soft skills or life skills. Many of them are lacking. So you can get in interaction with people who are actually skilled at things, and then you can manage your time effectively. This is how you can actually utilize your days in a constructive manner. Since you get time, it's like teachers are not behind you. Please don't waste your time, students. This is my kind advice. Please utilize the time. So once there are higher grade people who actually sit with the book without any concentration, like as ma'am said. So the time span is 15 minutes for kids, but for the higher grade students, it is really less than 15 minutes. Within a minute's time, they will be taking their mobile, checking the social media, and it continuously grows. So that is what, improve your concentration, do meditation. So keep your mental health properly, so that you actually plan your day, plan your life in a constructive manner. I hope that will be useful for you, Anjana.
That's a great advice, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Deepa. My next question is, when comparing to schools and with online classes, the performance of the children is decreasing nowadays, I think. What are the strategies we can follow to improve the performance of the kid?
Yeah. Yes, Vijay ma'am. Really, everyone feels the same. I have many calls regarding this. So we put a lot of effort. We sit with them 24/7, but the performance is really low, really poor. It was like their score was really higher in the last year's academic years. So they were into schooling for more than 10 years, and now I feel their performance is really low. So the main thing is like they have adaptability issues. So more than 10, 12 years, they are into a schooling environment and now into a homeschooling. There is a quick transition that happened. So even we faced all these challenges, right? So we parents had the same transition and adaptability issues. The same thing will be there with the kid or even a grown up. So there will be adaptability issues. Also, there will be there is no sort of interaction in the classes. So it's like it's really limited. So once they are nearly, if there is a class for 40 minutes, the question and answer session is like only 5 minutes at the end of the class. So it is really difficult for the teachers to be having a total interactive session, because there are many naughty kids who is always making sounds in between. So it's really difficult for them also. So interaction is really less, which reduces their interpersonal skills, which reduces their language skills. So although some students will always seek individual attention in the class. So teachers will be putting more efforts for such kind of kids in the class, but that is not practically possible in an online class. So these are all really the factors which make their performance really low. So what we parents have to do is, first of all, accept the bitter truth that this pandemic has a toll on parents and more on kids, because they cannot go outside 24/7. They are inside a room, their play activities, they don't meet friends, everything is limited. So if there is a decrease in performance, you have to stay patient. So you have to be with them. So love them unconditionally. Don't be a bossy kind of a parent. Be along with them. Say them it's okay to if there is a reduced performance, but you can put some more efforts for them. Be with them. Make, if there are any doubts with the classes, you can like weekly you can have a call with your class teacher, and then you can see what are all the things they are lagging behind, and you can make them improve the skills. But if there is a reduction in performance, please don't pressurize them like it's because of you're not attending the class, there is no concentration in you. If you keep on bring them negative comments, it will be like they will get used to it, and this will continue. So we have to be there. We have to give a positive environment for them. So accept the fact they are also little kids. They need some time to accept the new normal. So really, it will be like over the time they will be able to manage more than us, more better than us. Okay, so this will really help. Yes.
Thanks, Deepa. Thanks for your positive answer. Thanks a lot. Okay, then moving to this homework and all, we have especially very, very short time during this online classes. So we have to give homework for kids. How can we give homework effectively and makes kids to do that?
Yeah, ma'am. So for homework, like, yes, it's like because teachers are also having less time. They have only very less time. And it was not the same before the pandemic, where the kids will be like from 8 o'clock to 3 or 4 o'clock. Now it is only 2 hours of sessions, and the teacher has to finish whatever has to be done in 40 minutes. And then they are also forced to give assignments or worksheets. So like, as I already said, like you can plan your homework timings with the kids. And one more thing, like teachers also can actually give kind of multiple choice questions. They can give multiple choice questions so that the kid can understand the concept. The point is the kid has understood the concept. It need not be every time writing the complete thing so that we understand that the kid is understanding it or anything. It can differ. They can give a multiple choice questions. They can give fill up the blanks. They can ask the kids to do like a mind map. They can just give them the core idea and ask them what all they are thinking in it. So that is also okay. It's not every time they have to give a question and answer and the kid has to write it. So this will actually reduce the time, and the teacher can also easily understand whether the student has grasped the point or not. So that if required, they can actually again repeat it for the kid or for the other students also in the classroom. So they can also again give activity-based assignments. Rather than always writing it, they can just give some activities also for them. If maths teacher is teaching angles for the kid, the teacher can actually plan, just go around the home, see wherever you can find a right angle, see wherever you can find the obtuse angle or something similar. A right angle, the kid can easily find it. All over our room walls, the corners are right angles. So the kid can understand, okay, this is a right angle. So this is like how we have to teach kids. So we can give activity-based assignments also for kids. So this is my one take on giving homeworks for students. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your wonderful answer. You're making the homework more interesting, right? Okay, thank you, ma'am.
So hi, I'm Danya. So yes, hi, I'm Danya, Community Secretary of Young Minds Forum. And so my question is, what do you think will be the physical effects and pain that the student will face in the long run due to the online class? Because even I have faced a lot of neck pain and by these online classes. So what can be done in solving that?
Hi, Ms. Danya, Young Minds Forum Community Secretary. Hello. Yeah, it's a wonderful question. I can clear your doubt as a physiotherapist. Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Surekha here. I'm a physiotherapist, yoga and fitness trainer, and also I'm a women's health coach and personal health counselor. And now I'm here to help you, not only for the students, also for the teachers and also for the parents. And the question was like, is there any longer effects on the pain and also like in the vision in that? So absolutely, it will not be there for longer run, because this situation is going to be get very soon, and we are into going to school and we are going into as a normal routine. So we'll pray for that. And apart from this, but there will be more strain to your eyes, neck and shoulder and also your back. And why this pain is coming? Because we are not having any proper facilities in our home, as like school atmospheres. We doesn't have any kind of furnitures like desk and chair, everything. Yeah, as like everybody said, like Gayatri Vamsi ma'am and Gayatri mama, everyone said like they used to write when the teachers are writing in the board, and they used to sit with the mobile phones. So when they are into this kind of electronic gadgets, they used to come sit only front or back. Either they need to correct their posture. So this is the main drawback where they are facing so many posture disturbances, and because of that their neck mostly. Unfortunately, to overcome these kind of strains and also the stresses through our simple posture correction methods and ergonomic advices, and also with simple exercise prescriptions, I can give you the exercises like the neck movements and the shoulder movements. But the thing is, everybody's body will be very difficult. For someone it will be like more flexible, and someone it will be like more strict, like very tough. So for them we can't able to teach them. So for anybody who needs real help, we can correct them through this V network. They can come and inquire us at any time, so that we are very ready to guide them at any time.
So actually, it was a wonderful session for having all the panel experts here addressing all the queries of parents teachers and students. Really wonderful. So it's like a brainstorming session for everyone to help cope up with this pandemic situation. So let us actually pray for this pandemic to end soon, because there are many people struggling out regarding their, no, they are even making a living itself is a problem for them. So so we are really blessed and grateful. We should be grateful for having all these kind of facilities, sending our kids to online classes also. So let us pray for the others also. This was really a wonderful session. It gave many insights for me too. I really learned and loved all the inputs from you all. So let us wind up the session here, and let us have a video on each expert and what are all their expert panel members, what are all their expert in. So let us play the video and then wind up the session. Thank you all wonderful ladies for sparing your time in this evening time. Have a nice day.